Warning. The following presentation may contain excessive alcohol consumption, obscene language, controversial opinions, heavy metal, and actual wrestling chat. As such, it has been rated M for metal.
Welcome to the Mosh Pit. So welcome to a very special episode of Mickey's Mosh Pit. As you can see from behind us, we've got Aberdeen Anarchy coming up. So we're here to talk about the show. We'll go over the card. As you can see, I'm not alone. I'm joined today to go over the card is Martyn Clunes.
Bonjour. Brought my awards with me.
I was just going to say the Mickey's Mosh Pit birthday bash and Christmas bash winner.
Unfortunately, one of the trophies has been damaged in the training academy, but we're still there.
Yeah, somebody was jealous.
Somebody was.
That's what that was.
I mean, I'm not saying it was Blue Thunder, but it was probably Blue Thunder. Disgrace.
But it is what it is. But like I said, that's not what we're here to talk about today. We're here to go over Aberdeen Anarchy. So this year, it's coming from the Northern Hotel on May the 14th. I've got a massive card, 8 matches plus 2 VIP pre-show matches. Tickets are available at ringsideworld.co.uk or just check on your Wrestlezone socials, in Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
They're there.
Yeah, they're there. And I do believe there's a Wrestlezone TikTok now.
There's nothing been posted on it.
Yeah, we're still waiting.
I'll be honest, as a 41-year-old man, I'm really struggling to get my head around TikTok. If anybody out there wants to give me help, anybody else wants to got any ideas, I'm open to suggestions because I don't have a clue what I'm doing with TikTok.
Yeah, it might be to vote with some of the younger boys. Then
I might just give Ronan King the login and let him have it.
With the less of that, the better. But yeah, so like I said, May 14th, it's the first Anarchy since 2019. We've been waiting for this one for 3 years now.
Yep.
It was all booked before COVID shut us all down, but we're back now. So like I said, we're just going to run through the card and analyse it, but it's best you're going to get with us.
Yeah. you might analyse it. I'll just chip in the comments here and there.
So the first match we've got is the big 6-man tag team match. So we've got Scotty Swift, Omar Mohammed, and Lee McAllister facing off against the outfit of Deron Murphy and William Sterling. Now this is going back. This has got a little bit of history to it. I mean, obviously, Scotty Swift was embroiled in a thing with the old outfit.
Yep.
With Johnny Lyons before his retirement.
He was, yeah, just the next one will go for a while. So
he's got a lot of history with him.
Yeah, I don't think that Scotty is obviously bringing in. He's got Omar as a new tag team partner. It's his new boy, and they've called on the help of professional boxer, multi-time world champion Lee McAllister. So I think Dino's bitten off a little bit more you can chew here.
Yeah, the self-proclaimed best striker in Wrestlezone. He's gone up against the guy who's been sparking boys out for the career.
let's not forget he's going to be fighting against wrestling against the guy who knocked out the guy who basically retired Mike Tyson.
He did, yeah.
so Lee beat Danny Williams. So it's like, good luck with that, Dino. I'm going to be interested.
Like he's beaten Mike Tyson by like 2 degrees of separation.
Yeah, it's like he didn't have to get on a plane to do it either.
No, but yeah, you wonder if he's been in here with. I tried to get out of Scotty and Omar, what the strategy going in here was, and they wouldn't have let slip. But you wonder if they've been bringing Lee in for a lot of training.
I think that you could probably take that to the bank that they have been. I'm sure they'll have spoken to him. Professional athletes are professional athletes for a reason.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's going to come in here and appear with his boxing gloves on May 14th. I'm fairly sure that Scotty and Omar have been imparting some wisdom to him, and I'm sure we'll see. I'm sure they'll have some surprises, Scotty. Scotty isn't going to go into this half baked.
No, he's been around long enough to know what he's doing.
Yeah.
But like I said, that's I spoke to Scotty and all before now, and we'll just hear that interview now. So I'm joined here at this time by Scotty Swift and Omar Mohammed.
Thank you.
Ahead of the Aberdeen Anarchy massive 6-man tag team match. It's yourselves and Lee McAllister
It is.
against the Outfit and William Sterling.
It is. That isn't on, by the way. You know that's no plugged in.
Just go with it.
We're going with it.
There's no wire.
Pretending.
We're being professional.
We're going to pretend.
We'll be-
Okay.
There's a plug there, but
We're talking about Aberdeen Anarchy. Okay. We're talking about the Outfit. We're talking about William Sterling. The guy to my immediate left has been knocked out.
Guys,
twice.
Twice. Yeah,
Did
twice.
twice.
I say you got one more than me now. Eh?
know.
You're up in the odds now. I've also been sparked by Dino. It just so happens that we've got a friend of ours that knows quite a bit about knocking people out, don't we?
Oh, of course.
so what's the strategy going into that? Are you just going to let him box, or have you been training him?
Oh no! Here's
Is
the
he-
thing. Here's the thing.
Is he going to grab a hold?
Oh, hold on. We know that Outfit. Sterling are going to see this at some point. You think myself and Sensation one?
Smart sensation over here. Come on.
You know, we're not going to give away what we're doing. It's like, is he going to come in and box? Is he going to come in and wrestle? That's for them to find out. You're going to find it the hard way at Aberdeen Anarchy. I'm not giving anything away. Even for the King of Podcasts, even for Vago, I'm not giving none away.
By the way, how come I'm not on the podcast yet? Like, genuine question.
So Aberdeen Anarchy, May 14th. It'll be these two and Lee McAllister against the Outfit and William Sterling.
Ringside World tickets are available. Get them before they're all gone.
So yeah, some strong words there for Scotty and Omar there. Like you said, they're not letting anything slip with their game plan going into this.
No, they're not. You know, as much as you can put over Scott and Omar and say, you know, like I said, they're not going to go into this half baked and they've got some surprises. They're not going to give. They're surprises. They're not going to give us anything away.
No.
I'm sure on the day, you know, they'll be ready and they want to take Dino and Murphy and William Sterling, you know, by surprise as well. So we're not going to get much out of them. I know they're keeping cards close to their chest, which is good to see. I like that.
So they should.
I like that. I like the kind of the element of surprise.
I mean, especially with this new look outfit with Murphy.
Yeah,
It's like he's like, I don't know, 3 times the size Ted was.
yeah, he's a monster. I mean, geez, what was it? When he joined him when he was unveiled at Ellen.
Yeah.
And he absolutely, you know, just annihilated that big splash off the middle rope.
I know.
Was geez, well, no, not for me,
Yeah.
for me anyway.
Yeah. Rather
so,
Scotty than me, yeah.
rather Scotty than me. Yeah. So I think Scotty's a little receipt that you'll be looking to get back on Murphy as well. Let's not just put it all down to the door of saying, oh, there's Dino. You know, I think Scotty's got his eye on, you know, getting one back on Murphy for that, because he's a handful. He's a big lad, and he can take care of himself.
You can. And then look, you've got those two guys, but then you've got William Sterling there. He's been around long enough to know what he's doing. He'll
it was
have
interesting.
a couple of things up his sleeve.
It was interesting at the events that they had here at the Training Academy, the double header, where for their tag match, William Sterling appeared with him.
Yeah, aye.
And he was kind of, even though he wasn't in the match, he was at ringside and he was acting as kind of quarterback. I know he was coaching for the sidelines, and you could see him, you know, a guy who's a multi-time Wrestlezone tag team champion.
Yeah.
And you saw him just imparting sort of just little bits and just little tag team things, but cutting off a ring, keeping him in your corner, making sure you know what you're doing. And it was really interesting. It's really interesting to see, just because, you know, you got to remember that even you know, the old outfit when it was Dino and Ted, they're still a relatively new team.
Yeah.
And now with Murphy, they're a really new team. So, you know, as impressive as they've been, they'll need to gel. And I think having William Sterling there is the thing that will help them. You know, he can handle himself. He's physical as well, but he'll be someone that's able to kind of just, you know, give them the kind of tips that they might not have because they're they're relatively new.
He's got the old brain in his shoulders.
Aye, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, he'll be the one to, like I'm saying, calling the plays.
Mhm.
But yeah, but as well as Scotty and Omar, I did catch up with Outfit and William Sterling. So here's this interview. So I'm joined now by the Outfit, Dino and Murphy, and William Sterling, and an honorary Outfit member for Aberdeen Anarchy. Your 6-man tag team match against Scotty Swift, Omar Mohammed, and Lee McAllister. So Dino, you are the self-proclaimed best striker in Wrestlezone.
So don't think we needed the self-proclaimed part, but
We'll go with that. But how do you feel your chances are going in there with a guy who's made a career out of knocking people out?
Well, you see, the thing is, Lee McAllister is a boxer. He's not a wrestler. I'm the perfect mix, the perfect specimen of boxing and wrestling. He's just a boxer. So when it comes down to it, he doesn't know what he's doing. He's inexperienced. Whereas me, I can do both.
So, will somebody be getting knocked out at Aberdeen Anarchy?
I think so. Who do you think will get knocked out?
it's very difficult to pick. We've got 3 leading ideas. We've got Omar Mohammed
Yes.
again. We have Scotty Swift again, and we have what was it? Lee McAllister. That's it.
So I think 1 in 3, or maybe 3 out of 3, maybe.
Well, it's anarchy. Let's have a party.
Exactly.
You see, what the problem is that Scotty Swift and what's the wee lad's name again?
Lee McAllister?
No, the other one.
Omar.
Oh, pardon?
Omar Mohammed.
Bless you. You may have Lee McAllister, and he may be physically imposing, but the problem is, he's thick. You're thick as mints. We are better physically, we are better mentally, but because he is so good mentally, he won't totally knock you out, Lee. He's going to knock you enough down for a 10, then me and we're going to come, and when you're lying down there, Lee, what we're going to do is on your face. That's a promise. By order of the... Oh, sorry, I don't want to steal your catchphrase.
No, that's not by order of the Outfit. It's by order of Dino and Murphy.
Some bold words there from the Outfit and William Sterling. So some confident words there from Dino and Murphy and William Sterling. But Dino very confident that somebody's getting knocked out at Anarchy.
He is. Maybe a little too confident, to be honest.
Yeah.
Haven't watched that interview back. A big talk, but that's how you get places in WrestleZone.
It is. I mean, the only other point I've got to cover on this is, will Omar have a jacket for Lee McAllister?
Well, now.
Or are they all going to come out in boxing robes?
That would genuinely be the greatest thing ever. If they just totally threw us a curveball and they all came out in Italian stallion
Apollo Creed
things like that. They've all got like Tyson Fury was the other night. Like Tyson Fury had his England flag gloves and the shorts.
Yeah.
If they all come out in Scottish versions of Apollo Creed shorts, they might do that. That'd be amazing. I'm fully on board with that, actually. Yeah, let's go with that.
So you can take that. I mean, I know this is very short notice to get that sorted out.
I'm going to get on the phone. I'm going to get on the phone to Scotty now and say, look, you need to get this sorted, mate.
Yeah, definitely looking like it's going to get messy.
6 man. It's a 6 man. It always does. Even with a newcomer to wrestling in there with Lee. No, a 6 man is no.
Yeah, it's.
You've got 1 ref. 2 refs wouldn't be enough. 3 refs wouldn't be enough.
Yeah.
So it'll get out of hand really quickly. We know that because it always does with 6-man tags. It's in it.
Yeah.
It's why I would never want to be a referee.
Yeah. You've got 5 big guys under Omar.
Yeah.
You'll probably be Danish flying a bit. And, yeah.
You've got 5 really big guys. That can take care of themselves. Omar just do the high flying stuff as well. I
didn't envy the referee that night.
No. I don't think. I think there'll be kind of who gets a short straw has to do that one.
But from the 6-man tag, and we've run to just a straight singles match involving me. He is still my tag team partner.
You are still a tag team.
We're still affiliated.
I wasn't sure if maybe you just in that quiet going off parting of the ways.
No,
it's like we're just not telling anybody.
No, we still look at each other, but we've got other. Well, I've got other business to attend to.
We'll come to your other.
We'll get to that.
We'll come to your other business, because I'm sure you've got a lot to say. So, are we going to cut to your promo? Or are you just going to give us your promo?
No, I've got one. Like,
okay,
I'll just shoot. But yeah, so we're talking about the outcast Chris Archer, who's in a singles match with Jackie Polo.
Returning to wrestle with Jackie Polo. It's been a long time.
2014, I called it.
2014, was that Ferry Hill? Was it Ferry Hill, or was it?
It was a Halloween, and then he was at Christmas. Halloween. He was at the Christmas show.
It was, that's right,
It was an effort against Crusher, I believe.
That's right, Crusher, yeah. Interested to see him back. He's obviously, I mean, there's been the lockdown has kind of derailed everybody with wrestling, so it's kind of the same for him. I know he's been coming back, and he's been doing obviously doing some stuff down in Glasgow way and that. So it's going to be interesting to see him coming back. Don't these face Chris Archer before?
No, Chris Archer's. According to my notes, or according to Cage Match, which take that as accurate as you like it to be. Chris Archer beat him in a four-way match. It was Chris Archer, Jackie Polo, Scotty Swift, and somebody else.
Oh, that was a Cloverleaf, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. I remember that.
So Chris Archer does hold a win over Jackie Polo.
He does, that's right. I remember that actually. Yeah, I'll be honest, I didn't like the Cloverleaf. I've kind of put all of them out of my mind. just a nightmare of a place.
I liked that. Was my debut, so I've got a sauce. But I say debut, I didn't wrestle. I just run in.
You run in that. It's one of those places for me, if it's running the show, running and organising the show, it's just a nightmare. So I just want to forget about them forever.
But yeah, no, Chris Archer does hold a win over Jackie Polo. Like I said, Chris Archer himself, he's no slouch, 4-time tag team champion.
Again, another guy who's a multi-time tag team champion, decorated the Wrestlezone. Obviously, he's just recently was the Tri-Counties champion for a few months. And he's coming into his own. I mean, like, no disrespect to yourself, but he's been in teams a lot.
He has
in Wrestlezone, and he's never had a long-term run by himself. He's always had a tag team partner.
Yeah.
And I think he shows he beat Alan Sterling for the Tri-Counties Championship. Okay, he lost it back a couple of months later, but it shows that he's more than capable of hanging on his own.
Yeah, he is.
And he's going to need to be, because Jackie Polo is one of the best guys in Scotland. There's no getting away from that.
Yeah. So
he's going to need to be on his game, because there's a guy who knows that Jackie Polo's came up here. He's challenged for the Wrestlezone Wrestling Undisputed Championship before. He's held titles across Scotland. So, and he's a guy who's going to want to come up here. He's not going to come up here and just want to lose.
No.
He's going to want to. He's going to want to give a good account of himself and get a win. That's what he wants. Everyone's
But like you said about the Tri-Counties thing, surely a win is going to set Chris Archer back in the right path to get back in the hunt. For that championship again.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, we'll talk about that obviously later when we talk about the title matches, because there's two. There's obviously we've got the two singles titles in Wrestlezone. I know there's a possibility of us seeing two new champions. You never know.
Yeah.
And once that happens, everything resets. There's no rankings or pecking order. Once there's a new champion, it's kind of open season on that person. So if you're someone like Chris Archer who's in a singles match, or you're going to be in a singles match as well, you get a victory. Suddenly you're looking at, I want a shot at the Undisputed Championship. I want a shot at the Tri-Counties Championship. So that's why both those guys will be wanting to get a win. They'll be wanting to get a win, get noticed, and know if there's a change in the title holders, or if there isn't. After that, you look at, right, I'm looking at new things. I want to get a shot at title. So Archer will definitely be looking at that.
Yeah, it's just building momentum. Building momentum. It's getting your name built up.
Yeah, it's like, it's not quite. I mean, I wouldn't say it's like people get ignored, but it's a case of if you keep having big wins against big names, like maybe like a Jackie Polo, or truthfully, Jackie Polo winning against Chris Archer's a big name.
It is.
If you win that, then you it's not a case of being ignored. It's a case of you get noticed.
Yeah.
And you can say, well, you can't ignore me anymore. You've got to give me these opportunities.
I've beaten a Wrestlezone guy. I need to come back and see
that's
what else
why
you've got.
That's why Archer took his opportunity when he faced Alan Sterling and he beat him.
Yeah.
No, and it was a main event of the show.
I mean,
as
it was
well.
a big surprise for everyone. It was the first show back.
It was the first show back, and it ended up being the main event because of the way the show panned out. We end up having our undisputed title match earlier in the show, and so it ended up main event, big moment for him, and he'll be wanting more then.
Of course he will.
Until he gets the tag team run back with you.
Yeah, like I said, we've got other business to attend to before we get back in the hunt for that. But yeah, but like I said, we're speaking about the Tri-Counties Championship, so we'll just get straight into the Tri-Counties Championship match. So we've got your champion, Captain Alan Sterling, versus Caleb Valhalla.
Well now.
Well, yes, well now.
The captain, I believe the captain's on a boat at the moment.
I believe so. He's at sea.
I was hearing a rumor that he's going to be back from. He's going to be back from he's going to be on shore leave on May the 14th.
Yeah. I don't know how he's going to deal with that now. He's navigators want to batter him, but
yeah, I know. It's like I don't know how it works. I mean, he's obviously, I don't know if he's got a new navigator, or basically
first mate.
He's maybe just sitting. Truthfully, he's maybe just sitting in an inflatable boat in the Duthie Park pond. We never know. I mean, I've not been at the Duthie Park in a long time, but maybe that's what he does. He just goes and sits,
drifts back and forth.
That wee island in the middle of the pond. He's maybe just that's where he's like Stig of the Dump or Swampy. As a reference, Swampy. Nobody, none of the young folk will get him. Aye, nobody will know who Swampy is. But yeah, he says he's back from shore leave. He's back on shore leave. Sorry, on May the 14th. He's going to be coming straight to Aberdeen Anarchy. So that'll be interesting to see. Caleb, obviously, like huge momentum.
He's on a tear just now.
On a tear across Scotland at the moment, just picking up big wins against lots of names. And he'll be wanting a championship. That's what people want. People want to win matches. They want to win titles. And he'll be coming into this, very angry. He was one of, let's be honest, he was one of the favourites for the Regal Rumble.
He was.
There's, if not the favourite. And so for him to be eliminated the way he was, by a combination of Alan and
he got an assist.
By a combination of Alan and Lord Malice, he's not happy. He wanted to get his hands on Alan at the Academy show they had. I think Alan quite rightly thought better of it.
Yeah, he wasn't interested in that.
We thought we might have seen a face off between the two of them, but no, Alan kept his distance, which is probably the good sense. I think that they just stay away from him right now. And yeah, Caleb's going to want to get his hands on him. Yeah. That's an angry man. He's a big man. I certainly wouldn't want him being angry at me.
No, like I said, like the big angry man, he does want a hold of Alan Sterling. And we did catch up with him beforehand, and he'll tell you exactly how much he wants to get hold of Alan Sterling. So here's that interview now. I'm joined now by Caleb Valhalla, the mighty Caleb Valhalla. Now Aberdeen Anarchy is coming up, and you're in a Tri-Counties match against Lord Alan Sterling? Captain Alan Sterling even. It's Captain. Now, everyone's been on your back for however long saying you need to drop Alan Sterling. And finally, at the Regal Rumble, it happened.
The mighty Caleb had had enough of that dick, Alan Sterling. The mighty Caleb had heard it from everyone backstage. He'd heard it from Mr. P. He'd heard it from Crusher Crave after summer. He'd been hearing it for a long time. But lockdown gave him a little bit of a break, and you know what? I missed Alan Sterling a little bit during lockdown. I did.
What about?
A little bit. And we had some fun when we came back. But you know what? It really was all about Alan. And Caleb Valhalla had enough of that nonsense.
But back at the Regal Rumble, that laser focus you've got on Alan Sterling, I mean, it did cost you the actual Regal Rumble match. I mean, being so focused on Captain Alan gave Lord Mr. Malice just that opportunity.
Malice!
I mean, we all thought he was dead after the last time, but apparently he's back.
Hopefully he's dead now.
Well, after the Academy show, hopefully that's
him.
that's the end.
Done.
But is that going to be the case again at Aberdeen Anarchy?
No, Caleb's focused on Alan Sterling's destruction. Caleb is ready to put the beating of a lifetime on Captain Alan Sterling.
But what is more important? Is it the Tri-Counties Championship, or is it beating up Alan Sterling? Wait,
The Tri-Counties Championship is a very nice championship. It will look lovely around the mighty Caleb's waist. But it is secondary in this match. The first focus is the ultimate destruction of Captain Alan Sterling. And then the outcome will be a new Tri-Counties champion in Caleb Valhalla.
some powerful words there from Caleb Valhalla.
Go!
So yeah, Caleb Valhalla, very angry. He's wanting to hold a Captain Alan Sterling and also a hold of that, another belt to put around his waist.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and you know, that promo, he's angry. That interview with him, he wants to know he's picked up a couple of big wins lately as well. You know, obviously there was the carry on, I think we'll call it, at the first show of the year in Summerhill, where he would end up having a team with. Well, he had William Sterling, and then William Sterling just walked out on him with an injury.
His injury,
but he was this close to beating Crusher and Connor by himself.
Who are the tag team champions?
The tag team champions. He was nearly, he would have been, right there. And then he beat, he pinned Crusher at Ellen.
Yeah, Ellen,
clean as a whistle, which was a real surprise. It's a big match.
Not very many people in wrestling can say they've got a clean pinfall over Crusher Crane.
No, not at all.
You can probably count them on hand the amount of people have done that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it really is just insane to think that, and the way to have done that is really, really impressive.
Yeah.
So,
especially in the short span of time he's at. I mean, obviously we've got that year and a bit for COVID, but the short time he's actually been doing it.
Yeah, well, nobody else was doing anything that time as well. So, it's sort of everybody just kind of sits. So, like COVID happens, and you've just got that 18 months, 2 years, whatever it was, where everybody just sits and goes, right, okay, so you just kind of forget that. And you think he's not, so he hasn't been doing this for a really long time, but to have picked up wins like that, where, and then start this year, and again, nearly becomes a tag team champions by himself. Yeah, which is insane. And then, a clean win like that over Crusher, and then, he's on like a big upward trajectory. And then I think the disappointment in the Regal Rumble is really going to spur him on, and I think that's why.
I mean, he did rectify that by destroying Malice at the Academy show.
He did, yeah. He got his revenge on Malice, I think.
With his tiny wee sword and
he put Malice's little sword where the sun doesn't shine.
Yes, he did.
Which was interesting. Yeah, interesting to say the least.
Now he's rectified that mistake, and now his sole focus is on just destroying Captain Alan.
It is, and you'd be, if I was a betting man, I think everything, the house would go on Caleb in this one.
Yeah, but that's not taking anything away from Captain Alan. Like he gets painted as this buffoon, but him himself as a multi-time tag team champion. He's held the Tri-Counties on, I think this is his second.
Yeah,
his second run as Tri-Counties champion. He's no slouch.
Well, he's not. Again, it's like you're
very dangerous.
You're absolutely right to say that. It's like, he's a bit of a joker and stuff. We're doing, like, in the past, we've seen Lord Allen and we've seen Mixed Marshall Allen and all this. Everybody thinks he's a bit of a joker. It's like, well, you see what happens when he gets in there. He kind of he's unhinged, shall we say, but he can do it. He can do it. He's been doing it for so long, and he is when he's on his game, he's one of the best guys in the country. As simple as that.
Yeah. So I wouldn't write off Captain Alan completely. I think he's still got a trick or two up his sleeve. I think. Yeah.
He always has something up his sleeve or under his hat. Even.
Well, we'll never know because it never comes off.
It never comes off.
Amazingly.
Just the best. Just the best.
So we might be looking at a new Tri-Counties champion come Aberdeen Anarchy, or we might be going. It might be going back in Cap Dillon's boat.
It might be going back on the boat, back
Yeah.
to the Duffy Park.
Yeah, but May 14th we'll find out.
We will.
So moving on from that, you've got a match with a very big stipulation. We've got a special referee match.
Oh.
This is Brian Tucker, who claims that Wrestlezone management have got it in for him
Yeah.
for long, and he's facing off against Evan Young.
Yeah, Brian's since we've kind of came back,
Yeah,
obviously he put an end to the feud with Sean Johnson.
he did.
And there was a full stop put on that. And then he's fallen out with the referees. He's fallen out with Mikkey. He's fallen out with Dennis. He thinks Len's got some issue with him, where he's because he's lost matches.
Yeah, he's gone on this big streak of like bad luck. Let's just say.
Yeah, he's had bad luck and things. It's like, well,
and he's blaming everyone.
He's blaming
himself.
everybody but himself. So Len has decided that he's not going to allow the referees to be disrespected anymore.
Yeah,
we're going to bring in a referee who is.
Well, I don't know if it's Len. I think Dennis and Mikkey have just point blank refused to referee anymore.
It was that, quite rightly. It's like they went on strike. Tucker at the academy, the shows in the academy, put his hands on Dennis. I know he wasn't happy with that.
Yeah,
and I can't blame him. So yeah, it's like the lads are going out on strike. I don't blame them.
But yeah, speaking of the academy show, he put his hands on Dennis. But like I said, it was his opponent Evan Young that came out to make the save.
It was
the same guy put him out, eliminated Brian Tucker from the Regal Rumble.
Yeah, it's like so. Evan Young again.
He'd seen enough.
He's seen enough, and it's like that's great to see that. Like as a young guy looking to make a name for himself. He's only been on shows just for a few months. Obviously, he was meant to debut.
Yeah, before lockdown
in the Regal Rumble that had to be cancelled because of lockdown. So he's had to wait his time. He's bided his time. Bided his time, is that right? Is that you say that?
Yeah, we'll go with that.
he's bided his time, and now he's back and he's on a tear and he's picking up no good wins. He's beaten William Sterling, big win for him. He's had some good, strong performances. Really strong outing at the Regal Rumble, and again he's sort of.
Well, barring the academy show where he lost to Alan Sterling, and it was due to Brian Tucker, but he lost. I was like, he's undefeated.
Yeah, it's like his debut's really strong. When he faced Ronan King, and he beat Ronan King, really impressive. The pair of them are. We'll come to it. Don't worry.
Yeah, we'll get there.
But Evan's just he's on a tear right now, and he's looking to make a name for himself. Just a young lad. Was it Mr. 2004?
Yeah,
terrifying,
horrible.
And he's looking to make a name for himself, get ahead, like we were talking about earlier on with Archer and things like that. You pick up big wins, you get noticed, and he's clearly got a conscience. Not having Len, Mikkey, Dennis, and the guys be disrespected. And so he came out, interrupted Tucker, made the save, we could call it, when he had his hands on Dennis, which should never have his hands on Dennis anyway. Yeah. I'm sure Len will have some words. Will have had words with him about that anyway. Evans got involved, and now they're facing off, and we've got the special referee coming in.
Yeah. So the special referee for this one, they brought in a very special referee. They've teased him out of retirement.
Teased him out of the gym.
Well, yeah, out of the gym. So we've got the tenacious one, Johnny Lyons, as your special referee for the evening.
Yeah, looking forward to that. Looking forward to busting out the big old tenacious again as well.
I mean, I don't know if they'll have a referee shirt big enough for how big he's
for
got.
Those arms. I don't know. He might have to have one of those. They're just the sleeveless numbers.
Yeah, just a Vince McMahon.
The sleeveless number like that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing him back.
Like that's 2019.
Yeah, so Brian's not gonna get out of hand this one. I don't think he's gonna be putting his hands on the tenacious one.
Well, if he does, I think Johnny Lyons will be putting hands back.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's like a referee who is a wrestler, can handle themselves, and so there could be no. This is going to be a case of you get out of line, then I'll put you back in line.
Yeah.
So Tucker better watch himself. I think there'll be no conspiracy here. I think Lions is as fair as they come.
Yeah.
And if he thinks that there's any kind of lens involved in this, or lens nobbles Johnny to kind of favour whoever, no chance.
Nah, he'll be kept in line this time.
He will be, definitely. Kept in line. So it'll come down to the fact that it'll be Evan against Tucker.
Yeah. Who's going to be the better man?
And who's going to be the better man tonight? And Tucker better watch out, because I think Evan is rising really fast.
Yeah. Right, and this will be if he does manage to get the win here, a massive win for Evan.
Oh, definitely.
Tucker he's the veteran in this situation, but he's won the Royal Rumble. He's been undisputed champion. Again, he's been a multiple time tag team champion.
Yeah, as a guy who has done pretty much everything. Again, it's like he's won the Regal Rumble.
Yeah.
When you look at the list of people that have won it, when you look at Crusher, Scotty, Damien, Sean Johnson, Jack Jester, all these people, it's like Tucker's name's right on there.
If you go far enough back, Brian Tucker's name was on there.
Yeah, and so you can maybe understand why he feels a little bit disrespected, why he feels that maybe he's not been getting opportunities. People out to get him. Is Sean Johnson. Sean Johnson was it's not that far in the past that Sean Johnson was the undisputed champion. Yeah. That was the de facto leader of Sterling Oil, if you remember.
Yeah.
And Tucker beat him, put it to bed, ended that feud forever, clean as a whistle. And so you can maybe understand why he feels that he's been disrespected and why he's not getting the opportunities, and why when he loses matches through bad luck, it's you've got to take out on somebody. Maybe you should take a look in the mirror, understand that.
I mean, going with that gear, I'd maybe not look in the mirror, but yeah,
that's a fair point. That's a fair point.
It's a bold choice of gear.
It is a bold choice of gear. I mean, I didn't know Sum 41 were touring again, but obviously Sum 41 are maybe looking for a new bass player or something. That's what he's thinking. I don't really know, but yeah, I can understand. He should be looking at him. He should be looking at himself as well. But I can understand why a guy who's done so much in Wrestlezone is now frustrated that he seems to be just in this limbo of he's losing matches through bad luck.
Yeah.
But there's only so much you can do. He lost when Alex Webb came up.
He did.
Which was a really good performance.
Yep.
Great Wrestlezone debut from Alex Webb. But again, Tucker has taken it the wrong way, which is kind of sad to see. But so it would be a big win for Evan if he could get, but it would be a big win for Tucker.
It would,
because you're stopping what is a guy in a massive charge right now. If you could do that as the veteran, as you call it, that'll be a big thing for him to do.
Yeah.
And basically say, don't forget about me. I'm still here. I'm still here for titles and to win matches.
Yeah. So May 14th, come and see Johnny Lyons calling it right down the middle with that one.
I'm not going to do the big tenacious thing to us. I need to build up to it. I've got so much practice needed for that one.
We've done my rope exercises for that.
Not at all. I'll do my best. I'll do my best for him.
I mean, we've got a couple of weeks to get the voice in shape for that.
A couple of weeks to get. I'll be fine. Just do my la 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 la. The Human Torch was denied a big load.
So from that, we're moving on to another title match, but this time we've got the Wrestlezone tag team titles. So we've got our challengers, the Foundation of the Future, Bruiser Brad Evans and the inspirational one, Ryan Riley, up against the champs, Crusher Crabe and Conor Malloy.
Yeah.
And this is another one, it's going to get a bit wild, I think.
It will be. I mean, I think that right now, and I know that Crusher and Conor are the champions, but right now, I don't think there's a better team in the country than Bruiser Brad Evans and Ryan Riley.
Yeah.
Obviously, because you guys are on hiatus. I can say that. I'm sucking up to them, but it's okay. But no, in all seriousness, right now, I don't think there's a better team in the country.
These are, along with Zach Dynamite, these are three guys that are just on a tear.
Yeah, they're genuinely just going head into the moon. It's such bright talents. I know that Zach is a little bit older, but generally young guys who are just astronomical in terms of their ability and where they can go.
Aye.
And they're generally. I really believe that what a team and what an opportunity this is for them.
I mean, this will be their first. If they manage it, this will be their first taste of gold in Wrestlezone.
Yeah, they've not. I mean, that's Brad and Ryan haven't been champions yet. I mean, I'm sure they will be at some point.
Yeah.
If they're unsuccessful at Aberdeen Anarchy, I think it's just a matter of time because they're such a good team.
Yeah, to win rather than if.
Yeah, but that's not to discount Crusher and Connor, who are a phenomenal team.
Like they're champions for a reason.
Yeah, and there's Crusher. There's a guy who is, I know we've just spoken about how he lost to Caleb, and Caleb himself drove those guys ran those guys really close at Summerhill Showdown at the beginning of the year. But what a team these two guys are. Again, it's that kind of chalk and cheese type where you've got your massive power guy, like just a big monster, but then you've got Connor who can do everything as well. Okay, he's not a massive muscle guy like you would say, Crusher is, or even Brad is. Brad's an absolute bear.
He is now, yeah. He's worked on it.
Yeah, he's an absolute.
He's beefed himself a bit.
He's a monster, and so some people might suggest that Connor would be the weak link there, but I wouldn't have that at all.
No,
I would just. He's a guy who can do everything out of nowhere, off the top rope, off the middle rope, out of the ring, in the ring. And just this is going to be insane. Yeah. Again, we spoke about the 6-man being like a war and being mental. This is just going to be the same, because this is going to be you've got 3 big meaty men just slapping the hell out of each other, and you've got Connor just like a dart flying out of the air. So it's like I have no chance I'm calling that one, just because I can't pick a winner.
Yeah, it's like you're saying, like as good as Brad Evans and Ryan Riley are as a team, like Crusher and Connor are arguably the perfect tag team.
Yeah,
like you've got you've got your big power guy, he's not afraid to muscle guys about, and then you've got your smaller, high flying agility.
You've got guys who are different. The best teams.
You've got the best of both worlds there.
The best teams in the history of wrestling have obviously always been that. You've always had, Brett and the Anvil. You've got that guy, guys who do it though. The Davy Boy and Dynamite.
Archer and Vega.
I was getting to it, man. See, you ruined it there. I was coming to it. You can't help himself. No, it's like, but generally, that's what you've always had. You always had like a guy like, again, we don't think of you mentioned Archer there, right? Don't think of Archer as a high flyer, but he is.
He is.
He can it's a guy who does everything. It's like you have that.
He's got the second best moonsault in the rejected, but
he said that, not me.
Yeah,
Archer, there's a line here.
Sticking the knife in.
He said it, not me.
But no,
the best teams in the history of wrestling have always had that.
Yeah,
and that's why they're champions, because they've been able to do that. They've been able to know when sometimes if the high flying stuff isn't working, Crusher can step in with the power moves. If you need something else, if Crusher it's basically isn't able to get it done with just by annihilating people. Yeah. You get Connor off the top rope, and you beating people. And when they won the titles back in Montrose, wasn't it? In 2020. They absolutely annihilated Blue Thunder and William Sterling.
They did.
And it wasn't just Crusher. It wasn't just Crusher came in and annihilated them. It was Connor as well. And they did. I don't think I've ever seen such a dominant title match in WrestleZone where it was just they steamrolled those guys. Yeah. And that's a team again. And what a team they were.
That was 2020. And since then, Connor's been putting the work in at the gym. He's beat up of it.
Yeah.
So
it's not like he's a little guy. It's just that he's standing next to Crusher, which makes him look like a small guy. It's like forgetting that Crusher is a monster.
Yeah. And I think like the way that tag team come together is like Crusher had been beating the snot out of him for however long. Yeah. They'd been this back and forth. And I think that chemistry they built up off of that, the mutual respect. It's
he called him out.
Formidable team.
Where was it? He called him out obviously at it was at Summerhill. It was Summerhill as well. And he called him out there, and just Crusher again when he was a bit angrier than he is now. He's I wouldn't say he's mellowed. I don't think Crusher will ever mellow.
No,
but you called him out. He was like, no, looking to maybe make an A of himself. And this is what we talk about opportunities. Like Evan Young there. I'm not going to mention one, but these young guys take an opportunity, and you get an opportunity with someone like Crusher Craig, and you grab it with both hands. And that's what you need to do. That's what Connor's done.
Yeah.
And then immediately he becomes a major player in Wrestlezone by simply showing what you can do against someone like Crusher.
Yeah.
So that's what you need. That's what you need to do. You call out these guys, or you be called out with these guys, and then you handle yourself. And he's done that. And
I mean,
now he's a tag team. He's a tag team champion. No, and again, like I said, one of the most dominant teams we've seen in Wrestlezone.
Yeah.
And they're coming up against those two guys. So you've got a really dominant team who have beaten everybody in Wrestlezone against the two up and coming young team of Bruiser, Brad, and Ryan. And how can you call
they're
that?
Just hungry
for gold. They want to win titles. And again, what a team they've been.
Yeah.
They've showed that. And the thing about the Foundation of the Future that I like is that any combination of the three is the best team in the country.
Yeah.
There's the three of them there. And yeah, Zach Dynamite is the leader, but you could put any three of them in, any two of those three in there, and you've got the absolute best tag team in the country. And that is in terms of for the rest of the guys on the Wrestlezone roster, I think that's a terrifying prospect.
Yeah.
Because if you're in a tag team, then you could be like, who am I going to? How do you prepare?
Yeah.
How do you prepare for three guys? You don't know which ones you're going to get because they're all different. That's the thing. So you can't just think, oh well, we've got the power guy, and we've got Zach. No, it's like it might not be those two.
Yeah.
And that is a really terrifying prospect for some of the teams, and they're going to want to win that. Obviously we'll speak about the main event later, but I think those guys are desperate for gold.
Yeah.
And that's the match. I'm be honest, that is the match of the night I'm looking forward to the most.
Yeah. I mean, Brad Evans and Ryan Lee did have some words for us, so we'll just hear them now. So I'm joined here by the Foundation of Future members, Bruiser Brad Evans and the inspirational Ryan Riley, ahead of our Aberdeen Anarchy match against Crusher Craig and Conor Malloy for the Wrestlezone Tag Team Championship. Now, how determined are you boys to get your first taste of gold in Wrestlezone?
Well, it's pretty much guaranteed, because neither of us have been pinned this year. Although Conor and Crusher have the championships, they're technically the challengers, because they've got to go up against Bruiser Brad Evans and Ryan Riley.
That's right.
That's a tough task indeed.
Well, Vego, as you know, because we beat you and your tag team partner Blue Thunder and Alan.
With an assist.
Listen, no, it isn't about you, so shut up.
Oh.
You listen here, Aberdeen Anarchy 2022. We've been waiting for this opportunity, and we're finally getting it. But it's not an opportunity for us, it's an opportunity for them, because they need to come up to our level. You got that, Vego?
Some tough talk there from Brad Evans and Ryan Riley.
Thank you.
So again, that's some confident words there for Brad and Ryan.
Very, very confident. I wouldn't say I'm surprised, because we know how I've spent the last 5 minutes praising them here, but that's a real confidence in there. They're coming for those titles. They're coming for business. They're not coming to play. And genuinely having seen them, discussing what they want to do. It's just pumping me up even more. It's definitely that's the match I'm desperate to see now. I'm going to have the best ticket in the house. I've got my ringside seat ready.
I mean, you're saying it's a scary thought having to prepare for the Foundation of Future, but coming out of this, you could be looking at the Foundation of Future having 3 of the 4 belts available in Wrestlezone after Anarchy.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, again, if you're a betting man, would you bet against it? And those guys are more than capable of winning both those titles.
Yeah.
Like I say, we'll discuss the main event in a bit more depth, but again, those guys are phenomenal, brilliant wrestlers. And if at the end of the night we're sitting looking at Foundation of Future being tag champs and having the undisputed champion as well, it generally wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah,
not at all.
Yeah, it's going to be his one to look forward to.
Yeah,
like you
most
said.
definitely.
But we'll move on to something that I'm looking forward to, which is
pre-show.
Well, we'll get to that.
Okay,
but no, it is
the raffle.
Oh yeah, the raffle.
Special. I'm going to guess.
Like sneaks.
It's going to be a special raffle. We've got this is the Aberdeen Anarchy raffle, so we've got some special raffle prizes going this night. It's going to be brilliant. So just remember, make sure you get your tickets. Big Lewis will be selling the raffle tickets before the show and at halftime. That's how big the raffle's going to be. We don't have enough time.
Raffle.
We don't have enough time at the interval to sell the tickets, so we're going to sell them before and during the interval as well.
So yeah, get your tickets for that.
Get a raffle over.
But yeah, but no, as much as the VIP pre-show and the raffle are exciting me.
And you want to draw the raffle? Is that why you're getting excited?
Yeah.
You want to come and draw the raffle? You heard it here first.
But no, it is getting the chance to batter Ronan King.
All right, okay, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yes,
we've been talking about everybody else but you. I forgot about that.
I've come up once or twice.
It's mentioned on it.
It's my podcast. I'm going to put myself over. That's what it's started for.
Absolutely. What's the point of having a podcast if you can't get yourself over?
Yeah.
That's what I do in my. That's what I do in my one.
So yeah, it's going to be me and Ronan King in a Singapore cane match. Which,
well, now
speaking about some of the other matches getting a bit wild and crazy, but this is.
What are you thinking with the Singapore cane match?
I'm going to hit him with it as hard as I can.
Okay.
Basically.
Fair enough. Okay.
Like, at the end of the day, Ronan King has brought this on himself. Right. Like we had this match back at Summer Hill. We had a nice wee match. I went thinking, I'll put him over. He's a good kid. He's good at what he does. He's got agility. He's got a good head and shoulders. He's just too arrogant. So when they went for the handshake at the end, and he just disrespected us.
And he injured your hand, yeah.
And then he jumped us from behind and injured my hand. It's not on. It's not happening.
But devil's advocate, to play devil's advocate here, not that devil's advocate, to play devil's advocate. We've just spoken about guys like Evan Young, taking opportunities. Do you not have to respect him for even though it was against you? Do you not have to respect him for taking the opportunity? A multi-time tag team champion is in a singles match with him. And yeah, Yoki, you don't agree with it because it was against you, but he took the opportunity to make a name for himself and get noticed against a guy who is one of the top guys in Wrestlezone. So if it was somebody else, you would say, what a brilliant move.
If he'd won the actual match, as opposed to jumping the guy at the end where his back was turned.
I get that.
I might be more inclined to say, that's taking your chance, but that's just chancing your luck.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, fair enough, yeah.
But yeah, so like he just keeps fighting. Like I'm sure you've seen him on Twitter. He goes on.
He's a confident young man, isn't he?
He's full of himself.
With a master of TikTok and Wrestlezone as well. I don't know. I'm never going to.
Luckily, I've not got TikTok, so I didn't have to see any of that. But yeah, like same at Ellen, the show. He wasn't even involved in my match. It was us. It was me. The one-time pairing of the Heavy Metal Thunder.
Against, and he cost you guys the match. Really, I mean, it's outside interference.
Comes out, pushes me off the top rope. Like he's no business being again from behind, just dirty and sly and it is what it is. So yeah, we got another crack at a match at the Regal Rumble, which again
didn't end great for you.
It didn't. Like he tried to use the cane. The referee was turned, boot this in the balls, and then the stomp to finish it. But let's be honest, it was the boot in the balls. So again, dirty, cheap tactics. And then
see again just the thing, but you've got he's doing what he has to do to try and get the win.
Yeah, well, I can understand that. I used to do a lot of this kind of stuff, but
and I've seen you I've seen you in like in Halloween brawls, with bowling balls and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I've seen you beat somebody half to death with a pumpkin.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've got to use what you've got to use.
Yeah. But then, like I said, and then we get to the academy show. Okay, this is where it gets a bit hazy. So he's in a match with Scotty Swift. And I come out. I was just there to watch. I wasn't going to do anything. And then he takes my cane, stole it.
Okay.
Goes to use it on Scotty. He gets the tables are turned. Scotty gets the roll-up win. Then he comes out during my match and just blasts me with the cane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is not great.
Which
is not great. I know you don't want to see that. And I get he's obviously trying to get in your head though.
He is.
And you've got to be careful. You've got to be wary of that because that's clearly what he's wanting to do. He's wanting to have you off your game. The last thing he wants is you coming into Aberdeen Anarchy and be like full focus, ready to go. He wants you coming in pissed off and distracted.
Yeah. Which I am. Well, pissed off, but yeah. But the thing is, now he's made his bed. He took off with the cane, and Wrestlezone management have made this a Singapore cane match.
Singapore cane match.
It's like if you've got one, I'm going to take one.
Yeah, he's asking. Basically, he's asking for trouble.
Yeah.
He's a young lad looking to make a name for himself. Good for him for trying that. But against a guy who carries a Singapore cane everywhere with him, I think you might be
maybe not the smartest.
I think it might not be the smartest move, but you've seen it as you've just mentioned. We've seen he fights dirty. He's got some underhanded tactics, so
he has.
It'll be interesting to see what he does because he's not going to come here just to get his head kicked in, is he?
Yeah,
he doesn't want to get his head kicked in.
He's going to try something, but
so you have to be ready for
that. Like at the end of that, Singapore cane is ending up in splinters. That's what's going to happen. So we didn't catch up with Ronan King because I would have just battered them.
Yeah, we had to leave it.
Next that one.
So just I think it's just at Ronan King or Ronan_King on Twitter. You'll find out what he's want to say.
Yeah, you'll block him as soon as you follow him. I was going to say content. It's not even content. It's just
hashtag content.
Right.
That's what kids call it now. I think
nonsense.
Hashtag content or something.
So yeah, like I said, that one's going to be a bit wild, and hopefully that'll be the end of it, and we can carry on doing our own things. But like you said, the Ronan has probably got something up his sleeve, and May 14th we'll find out.
We'll see what he has. We see what has for us ahead. Ahead after Anarchy, and then we'll see where you guys would go after it.
Yeah. Well, if he goes anywhere after it,
if he's able to, as an A&E.
Yeah, you might be in there a little while.
Be like in there's like a start of Rocky 2 when you're both getting wheelchaired in.
Never again.
As you just shouting at him across like Apollo Creed, like, "Hey, Stallion."
Yeah. Right. So we'll move on from that because I'm getting very angry now.
I can see you're getting agitated. So we'll move on to something else.
Yeah, we'll move on to something else. So we've got another tag team match. This one is for the #1 contendership to the Wrestlezone Tag Team Championships.
All right, okay.
So we've got the team of Mr. P and Sean Johnson versus Looking Sharp and Krieger.
Well, they're back.
They're back. They're coming back.
They're coming back. Brilliant.
They're coming back.
What? Former tag champs.
Former tag champs.
Former tag champs. Yeah. Wow. That's a big one. That's a big one to see again. You like I mentioned there earlier on about after Anarchy, whether you have new champs or whether you don't, there comes a reset because having number one contenders matches adds to that because immediately Mr. P and Sean are bros, mates. There's no secret they're friends and they're a team now.
Yeah, like Mr. P teased it. He said he's got backup.
Yeah,
at the time it was against the Foundation of the Future.
Yeah,
he's got backup, and it turned out to be Sean Johnson.
It turned out to be Sean again, like we mentioned earlier on, former Regal Rumble winner, one of the leaders, Sterling Oil, undisputed champion, multi-time tag team champion. Yep. Mr. P is a former tag team champion as well. So these guys know what they're doing.
Yeah,
in there. They know what titles mean. So these are what number one contendership matches are really important to these guys. You know, we've not seen Krieger and Luke Sharp in a while, but they are a well-seasoned, really good team, and we've seen them in Wrestlezone, they're former champions. So that's going to be an interesting one, because that puts that number one contendership doesn't just put you right up there; it puts you there. It's like you will get a shot at whoever the champions are. You know, there's talk obviously your champions. Potentially, if you whoever loses, if the Crusher and Connor lose the titles, yes, they would get maybe a rematch, but
Mr. P, Sean Johnson,
Krieger,
they would be next in line.
They're next in line, and they're guaranteed. When you're number one contender, you're guaranteed a title shot. So that's a big thing for them. So you want to get there. You want to get on top. You want to get on top, and I'm interested to see that. Obviously, I've only seen Mr. P and Sean Johnson team the once at the Academy show, but they were pretty well oiled. They've been clearly working out together.
Yeah, I think
working on stuff, clearly training together.
Like you're saying, they're each other friends. Well. I think that counts a lot for the chemistry.
Yeah, they're like they're kind of bros, like fun dads. I think they go to the gym together and stuff. So they know each other like the back of their hands. So that's something that at times it helps. Whereas sometimes you team with somebody, you form a tag team with somebody because out of respect or something, or you want something from them. They're a team because they're a team. They're not just a team in wrestling; they're a team of friends. So that gives them an advantage. Advantage going forward, that they want to do their best for one another as well.
Yeah.
So that'd be interesting to see. And it's a new team as well. Two really seasoned guys. Dave, I think, is Mr. P is this what you would class as a proper veteran. It's been I think he was saying, I think it was 10 years. He was talking about it obviously when he was my pal when he was just the manager of WrestleZone. I think he was saying we're talking about it's 10 years coming up for us now that he's been doing this, which is been ages.
That's insane.
Yeah, so it's really crazy. So I'm looking forward to that. So he's a proper veteran now. And coming in Krieger and Luke Sharp, they'll be coming back. Yeah. They'll be looking to get back to top of WrestleZone where they were at one point.
They're like you're saying, they're another team who've tasted the tag team gold here.
This isn't two guys coming in looking for an opportunity. Which we've WrestleZone have done that before, where we've had a team coming in from another part of Scotland, looking to maybe make a name and get an opportunity.
Yeah.
This is two guys coming back to say, "Aye, we were the kings at one point here."
Yeah.
And we're going to be again, and that's why they get put straight into number one contenders match because they deserve to be.
They're good enough, and they've been there.
They were good enough before. They can be good enough again. Yeah, definitely.
It's the only thing there, I think, is it's a lot easier to prepare a match against the guys who are already in the promotion. I think it's when you've got like two outside guys coming in, like Luke Sharp and Krieger.
Yeah.
But although they've got the same problem coming in against two WrestleZone guys.
Well, the problem they have is that there's only footage of Sean Johnson and Mr. P teaming together twice, sorry. So there's not like a, how do you prepare for that when you don't know what they're going to do?
Yeah.
They're unpredictable.
Yeah, there is that. Yeah.
So I think it's hard for them to say how do you prepare for a team that you don't really know anything about. So you've got to just try and do what you can do, which is also can be difficult.
It can. But well, Mr. P, I did catch up with Mr. P and Sean Johnson beforehand.
Oh boy.
And here's what they had to say. Yeah. This one gets a bit wild. I'm joined here by Sean Johnson and Mr. P ahead of our Aberdeen Anarchy match. The number one contendership for the tag team titles.
That what it is? Oh, hold on, you never told us that. How did you know that? We never were told it was the number one contender. Five times, baby.
Yeah, I'm tight with the booker.
What's 5 times?
5 times. Oh wait, no, you.
Okay, very good.
3 times.
2 actually.
Oh, 2 at the moment, yeah.
Try,
be optimistic.
Try counties. Try counties 1 time.
Tag titles.
No, but
if you include Undisputed Championships, at 6.
Undisputed Championship. Oh, well, you're part of Sterling Oil, which pretty much Richard R. Russell did everything.
Headlined everything.
You were a complete
I don't want to say it, but you were annoying when you were in Sterling
Anyway,
Oil.
speaking of tag teams, let's get back on track.
Oh, sorry.
It's just the number one contendership for the Wrestlezone tag team titles. As you said, Sean, you're a 4-time tag team champ.
Thank you.
Mr. P, you're 2-time.
2-time Olympic champ.
As a new tag team, do you think you've got the chemistry there to get the job
Do I
done?
think we have the chemistry? You answer that question. Okay, I'm no scientist, but when you're talking chemistry, you're looking at the elements of the periodic table: gold and silver. That's what you're looking at. What? What? Do you want me to do that like Sean Johnson did for like 5 years ago? Oh, I'm coming to get you. Oh, I'm in Sterling Oil. Oh, I'm really angry. I'm angry. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, that's pretty much
That one. Now, when you do it, you've got to like embrace the chaos.
No.
That's what we got to show Krieger and Luke
What
King
we
Sharp.
need is a tag team name. I've been thinking. Right, go on then.
Dads of Destruction. Dads of Destruction. Yeah.
Or Dad World Order.
Dude, you're kind of pushing.
Or Granite City Dads.
Alright, you're pushing the dad thing. I think we're good.
Right.
We're dads. That's probably the only thing we have in
You're
common.
dad, but you're overqualified. You've got two tag team partners.
Why would you have 2 children?
Why would you have two children?
That's something.
Why would you have one? But that's mean.
I'm kidding. Okay, that's something we need to edit out for my wife.
Hi, Elise.
But no.
She'll watch this. We've gone off the rails there.
Listen.
She watched this?
Yeah. Oh, we're getting the time cue to go home.
Yeah, let's-
So the bottom line is
live.
this. The bottom line, Angry Sean. Yeah! I want the Angry Sean when we face Krieger and Luke King Sharp. Yeah, I want the one that goes, yeah!
You just flagged them off.
Nah, but I've changed my mind.
Right, okay.
Okay?
Right, okay.
Yeah. And then I'll go like
Come on,
this.
Krieger.
And I'll go, come on, Luke King Sharp.
Come on.
You ain't got nothing on me, Luke King Sharp. You're not Luke King at nothing. You're Luke King at the next #1 contender.
Yeah.
Tag team champion contenders. Is that right? Yeah. Richard R. Russell ain't got nothing on me.
Mr. P and Sean
You
Johnson.
can take that to the bank. And that's chemistry. And when the bell rings, your lesson begins. Embrace the chaos.
So that was some words.
That was words like, what's the, like, it's like the old Morecambe and Weiss thing. It's like got some words in some sort of order.
Yeah.
I don't know what.
Yeah, it's the right pro, just nay in the right order.
Mr. P gets really excited, doesn't he?
He does.
He's an excitable guy.
He does. He's determined to bring back Angry Sean.
We're going to look forward to seeing Angry Sean.
Yeah. So yeah, like we're saying, that match is going to have huge implications further down the line for the Wrestlezone Tag Team Championships.
Yep,
whether it's Crusher and Connor are still the champions, or Brad and Ryan are wearing them.
Yeah,
We're
definitely.
going to have either Mr. P and Sean Johnson or Luke King Sharp and Krieger look forward to further in line at some point.
Don't know where we're going to. I mean, obviously, you don't know when you're going to see the whoever wins that match get their title shot. I would imagine, just an assumption, it would probably be at Battle of the Nations later in the year.
Yeah,
I think it's scheduled for August.
I believe so. Yes.
So you would imagine that would be a thing there. So, okay, they've got a few months to wait over the summer.
You say wait, it's a few months to prepare.
A few months to prepare, yeah. So we'll see what happens there. I'd imagine whoever wins that will be chomping at the bit.
Yeah.
And we'll see. I mean, unless I would love to see a tag match over the galas. Wouldn't that be great?
Love a gala.
Maybe I'll have a word with Len and see if we can get the tag title match at Haddo House or something.
There's too much weddings on when they get in Haddo House.
Are we not getting Haddo House this year?
I've been told they've got a backlog of weddings from the lockdown.
All these selfish people getting married and having happy lives and with their partners. Disgusting. Really.
Yeah,
just makes you sick.
Just gives you one Saturday.
Makes you sick. Makes us sick that we can't have the gala at Haddo House. That beautiful surrounding that was Haddo House.
Yeah.
Oh well, maybe Duthie Park it is then.
So yeah, that like you said, that's something to look forward to further down the line.
Yep.
Now we move on to our last match of the main card. It's the massive Wrestlezone undisputed title match, which happens to be a triple threat. The first one at Aberdeen Anarchy, I believe, for the title.
Yep.
So you've got your champion, the longest reigning champion, Damien, who's over 1,000 days at this point. He admits himself it's through COVID, but yeah, it's
not his fault.
Yep.
He didn't eat a bat.
Well,
COVID wasn't his fault. COVID wasn't his fault.
No, it wasn't.
So it's like he was champion when COVID happened.
Like you're saying, take your opportunities.
Take your opportunities. That's the thing, is no. It's like, okay, what am I going to do? I'm not going to go out to my back garden and defend the title. socially distancing, defending the title.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely. So you take advantage. He's held it for 1,000 days. Brilliant.
Well, I think it's 1,000 to 100 and something at this point. But
Okay.
yeah, it's a lot.
I'll need to work that. I'll need to prepare that for my intro when I do Aberdeen Anarchy. Then I'll need to work out how many days it's been
Yeah.
for him. I'll have a word with that and see what I can get. Just
Again, this is from Cage Match, so it might. I thought it's more than 3 years, so it looks a bit right.
no, right, okay.
So
That's
yeah,
fine, yeah. 900. Yeah, I'll be right.
yeah, give or take a few days here or there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it still works out as the longest reigning Wrestlezone undisputed champion.
Yeah, I think I'll be honest.
By a long while.
I think it will be. I think he's probably got the second longest reign as well, doesn't he?
Probably.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
some boy.
So yeah, you've got your champion there, Damien, against both Zach Dynamite and Aspen Faith, co-winners of the Regal Rumble.
Co-winners of the Regal
In
Rumble.
very controversial circumstances, I will say.
Yeah, obviously I wasn't there,
Yep.
but I've seen the footage back. I've spoken to Len. I've spoken to all the management guys about it as well.
I mean, I think Len made the best call he could at that point.
It could. I mean,
Usually we run the Regal Rumble with 2, sometimes 3 referees.
Yeah.
Dennis was just thrown in the deep end by circumstance. It
Yeah.
was just we only had 1 referee that night.
COVID had taken out a couple of people, which
Yeah.
meant that we were left with 1 referee. But the thing is, Denzel was right there. He saw what happened. So I think it was only fair. Len made the decision as well.
I mean,
we went with
we've
co-winners
seen it
'cause
from
you have to be fair to the 2 guys as well. Aspen and Zach Dynamite. They both landed at the same time. You don't know if one of them's been hurt.
Yeah.
So would it be fair to just chuck them back in there and say off you go? I don't think so. I think Len got the call absolutely right.
Yeah. I mean,
say co-winners.
after the shenanigans beforehand, with
Obviously you had
Aspen going out, Zach Dynamite going out and back in, and
you had
his boys
the
getting
outside interference as well, which I think probably factored into Len's decision, but to make it fair. And that's the thing, is it has to be. Obviously, like he does it in the referees and Len, despite what Brian Tucker might say, are doing what they're doing in the best interest of Wrestlezone. And I think that the triple threat match with the 3 of them is in the best interest. It's for the best thing for the fans. It's the best thing for the 3 guys.
Yeah.
And it's the best for business.
Yeah. Like you said, that Aspen Faith, he came back at the Summerhill after being away from Wrestlezone.
Been away for a while.
He came back, he helped out Damien, who was being jumped by the foundation.
Yeah.
And he made 3 promises that he was gonna win the Regal Rumble.
Yeah. Technically right.
He was going to go to Aberdeen Anarchy for the Undisputed Championship.
Yeah.
And he was going to win the Undisputed Championship. So that's 2 out of 3 so far.
Meatloaf.
That's not bad.
But no, yeah, you're right. He's done 2 of the 3 things he promised. Would you bet against him? Making it 3 out of 3? Be a hard call.
Yeah.
Again, talk about the top guys in the country. One of the top guys in the country.
Yeah.
Done it all. Faced everybody there is to face. Has beaten everybody there is to face in Scotland in Wrestlezone.
I mean, in Wrestlezone, he only needs the Undisputed Championship to complete the Grand Slam.
The Grand Slam, yeah.
He's already been Tag Team Champion. He's been Tri-Counties Champion. He's won the Rumble.
Yeah.
It's all he's got left to do.
Yeah. He's one of these guys who's like, no, there's what's called like, no. He's already had the Triple Crown.
Yeah.
And now he wants that final thing as well. Because that's what he's came back for. He took time away. And then a lockdown happens, and he spends more time away because he was going to be coming back. The Regal Rumble that had to be cancelled.
Yep.
So that's another person who has lost 2 years, who was coming back to WrestleZone. So it's going to be. I think you've seen so far he's got a lot to prove. We saw obviously the triple threat match. Sorry, the 6-man.
Yeah.
We had at the Academy show. And there was Crusher, Damien, and Aspen against the Foundation of the Future, and he's not missed a step. Some of the guys, I think, thought maybe he's coming back. He's coming back to Wrestlezone, and is he still as hungry as he was?
Yeah,
that showed he was. The foundation picked up the victory, but it showed that Aspen is a serious business. He's here to win. That speech he gave at Summerhill Showdown wasn't just an empty promise of I'm here. He meant that. He is here to win matches. He's here to win titles. He wants that title so much, and he's got a brilliant chance. I really felt that.
Yeah, I mean, he's another guy that I did catch up with beforehand. So let's hear what he's got to say. So I'm joined now by Aspen Faith, ahead of the Aberdeen Anarchy.
The Aberdeen Anarchy.
The Aberdeen Anarchy. You made your long-awaited return at Summerhill. You made 3 promises.
Yes.
One, that you were going to win the Regal Rumble. One, that you were going to go Aberdeen Anarchy.
Yep.
And another one, that you're going to win the Undisputed Championship.
There was 4.
There was 4?
Yeah.
What was the 4th one?
I was going to wrestle Alan Sterling.
Wrestle Alan, well,
yeah, and the 4th one's about, the realest one you're going to achieve, because, you didn't really win the Regal Rumble because I won it twice in the same night. And you're not going to win the Undisputed title because I'm going to win the Undisputed title.
Okay. Anything else you want to say? No. I think if you watch the footage back, you'll find out that I eliminated you, and then you need to get help from your wee boys to put me over the top. So, did you win? You know what you did? We both won. Right. Well,
at the end of the day, it was very controversial, and both of you are going to Aberdeen Anarchy to challenge for the Wrestlezone Undisputed
And I'm
Championship.
walking out as the champion.
Okay.
Exactly.
Is this microphone real? It's real.
It's a real microphone.
Do I get quieter if I go for a minute and I come back like that?
Yeah. So, I think we've covered what we need to cover there. So, good luck for Aberdeen Anarchy. So as we've seen there, Zach Dynamite getting involved a little bit there. Another one of the challengers for the title.
Another one. The two of them are
a little bit to say.
The two of them have been jaw-jacking quite a bit. It happened. Happened at the end of the Academy show. Obviously, when you caught up with them as well, they've been at it. They've been at each other's throats.
Yeah.
Both of them clearly not happy with how the Regal Rumble turned out, but it is what it is. They've got to deal with it. Business heads on now, and so they're just going to have to try and overcome. And I know you're in there with 2 guys rather than 1, but you have to take your opportunity. And it got heated there. It got heated at the end of the Academy show. It was like the final show on the road to Aberdeen Anarchy as well, so it always does get heated there anyway. But those two guys, who are
that match just did implode.
It just imploded at the end. It was you could have had 5 referees, and it was an absolute nightmare for poor Dennis to keep under wraps. Just try to keep everybody one of each team in the ring. But those two are they're desperate for that title.
Yeah.
Desperate for it. Neither of them have been undisputed champion before.
Yeah.
So they're desperate to get there.
I mean, and they've both been here. I mean, I think Zach Dynamite's been here slightly longer.
Yeah.
But at this point, they've both been here 8-9 years at this point, if not longer.
They've both been here a long time. Both done it all as well. They've faced each other many times before. Yeah. So that'll be something where they'll be prepared for one another. But will they mix it up? You wonder, what does Zach Dynamite have now that Aspen Faith hasn't seen before, and vice versa.
Yeah, and then you wonder with Zach Dynamite, is he going to get his boys involved? Are they going to play a part? Are they going to be ringside, or are they going to be banned from ringside? How is that going to play out?
Well, I think we'll need to see. I mean, it depends how it goes on the night. I mean, I'd like to think that Zach Dynamite. I mean, Zach Dynamite is definitely a confident man.
Yes, he's more than capable of winning that championship.
I would like to think that the confidence he has in himself means that he will just appear on his own. I think Aspen will be on his own. Damien will be on his own.
Yeah.
So you think that his ego wouldn't allow him to have outside interference
You'd certainly
from the
hope
other
so.
two guys. And the thing is, you never know. Will they be in any condition to be there?
After their match.
They've got Crusher and Connor, so they may not be in any kind of shape.
Yeah.
To even be there. So that's got to be a factor as well.
It could factor in another way. It's like if they win the tag team championships, it puts all the pressure on Diamond to get the job finished.
It really does.
Extra pressure.
Be honest, the guy who should be going into this match with the most confidence and the least pressure is Damien, because I know that he doesn't have to be defeated.
Yeah,
to lose the
that's
title.
the thing.
But he's going in there knowing fine he's been a champion for 1,080 days or whatever it is. He's been held. Yeah. He's been a champion all this time. I don't think there's any pressure on him, because there's these two guys who have won the Regal Rumble, co-won the Regal Rumble in strange circumstances. They're coming in there. They're the ones who have never been the champion before. They're the ones with everybody's looking at them to be like, which one's going to be which one of you guys is going to be the next guy in Wrestlezone? Whereas Damien could just go in there and do what he always does, and it's win. It's like, what does Damien do? We joke about it. It's like, it's maybe this time he's going to lose, but the truth is, he just turns up, wins matches, and goes home again.
Yeah. I mean, I did catch up with Damien beforehand, so we'll hear what he's got to say now. I'm joined here by the longest reigning Wrestlezone undisputed champion, Damien, ahead of Aberdeen Anarchy. Aberdeen Anarchy's coming up, but let's be honest, the past few defences you've had have been very tight. A lot of the guys they've upped their game. I mean, you've Dino, Brad Evans, Scotty.
You're saying because I won by roll-up?
I'm not saying. I'm just saying that they've been.
I shouldn't have this anymore. Is that what you're saying?
How confident are you going into Aberdeen Anarchy? I mean, it's a triple threat match, and you don't need to be pinned to lose that. That's the third guy who said that.
Well, I think everybody needs to have some confidence, especially if you're going to hold this. You need to be a confident person. My confidence is still high, even though I'm facing two individuals. Whether I win through a submission, or whether I win through a cheeky roll up, it's still a win, isn't it?
Wins a win.
What do you think about what I just said?
I don't like this. The tables have turned.
It sucks, does it? It sucks.
Yeah. There's a reason you've been king of the mountain for so long.
COVID and lockdowns.
Yeah, well, let's go with that.
I'd still have it. Even if there wasn't any lockdown, whether I was still defending, I'd still have it.
Yeah. So, Aberdeen Anarchy, very confident you're going to walk out.
Super confident.
Damien, undisputed champion. So, Damien, they're very confident that he's still got what it takes to walk away. Anarchy still with his championship.
Yeah, like I said before, he's in his right to be, and it just shows a lot of why. He's confident. He's been champion for a long time. He wins matches, so he's got all the confidence in the world, and so that's why he can go in. He can go in Aberdeen Anarchy. He'll be fully prepared. Everybody will be fully prepared, but he'll go into Aberdeen Anarchy and he'll be thinking, "Fine, I've got this. I've always got this."
I mean, we did touch upon it when I spoke to him about the past few defences he's had since we came back, and a lot of guys have upped their game. So he's had it's been very tight. Oh yeah, very close encounters. One with Brad Evans, one with Dino.
There's a massive target on his back.
Yeah,
because we've got these young. You mentioned Brad Evans and you mentioned Dino there. Two guys who are young guys in Wrestlezone. Haven't been wrestling for as many years as Damien does, but these guys are hungry. They're looking at him and thinking, "I want that title. Yeah. I'm going to take that title from you," and they haven't managed to do it, which is why Damien is so confident, because he's and he's squeaked out with a win at times. Just been like edge of the seat stuff, but he's gotten there.
Like he said himself, doesn't matter how you win, a win's a win.
Yeah,
He's what he's been doing in Wrestlezone for the past 1,000+ days.
Yeah, if you look at that, if you were to say to somebody, if you were to look at somebody's record and say they've defended their title against Dino and Brad Evans this year and won both matches, you'd be like, that guy's going to win at Aberdeen Anarchy then.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the thing he has to worry about is he's facing two guys.
Yeah, and he doesn't need to be pinned to win.
And he doesn't need to be pinned. So that always plays.
That must play.
That always plays in the back of your mind, and I suppose it'll play in the back of the minds of everybody. Whereas, if you get hurt, if you try something, we spoke earlier on about Connor doing Connor's high flying stuff or Archer's high flying stuff. You've got to take that into consideration because like Zach Dynamite could do the high flying stuff. Aspen has some of the high flying stuff as well. You've got to worry about that. Whereas, like, you take these risks. You take a big risk with something off the top, and you miss, or it goes badly for you. Within 3 seconds, you're there, and the match is over.
Yeah.
If you're hurt,
and then you're outside watching another two guys.
Yes, you're outside. You maybe hurt yourself. They're going for it, and you're maybe by that point it's it only takes that and then a 3. And the match is over. So I would think that would play on their minds as well, that's the kind of the X factor you would call it of the triple threat match.
Yeah.
Whereas,
like, who's got the nerve?
Who's got the nerve? And when you gamble, do you gamble big and go for something?
Yeah.
Whereas,
I mean, at this point, it's for the biggest prize in Wrestlezone, so you've got to gamble. I suppose that's the thing. You've got to gamble. You take We've spoken a lot today about when taking opportunities. Yeah.
And we've spoken about whether it be Ronan or whether it be Archer or Evan, and it's like and these guys will be watching things like that. These guys will be watching that main event, knowing in the future, that's the kind of opportunities I need to be taking as well. And because whoever comes out of that one with a title will have to have done something extraordinary.
Yeah,
because they will have to have either beaten the most decorated, longest serving undisputed champion in Wrestlezone, or they're going to have to beat one of the other guys who's the top guys in the country.
Yeah.
So it's what a challenge they've got on their hands there.
Yeah, I don't envy it. I'll admit.
It's big. I mean, it's like you look at that 3. It's not like there's it's not like there's one of these matches where there's a weak link and you can see where you would maybe target.
Yeah.
You would target somebody. Who do you target there? If you're like, let's just for the sake of it, say Damien looks at Zach or looks at Aspen Faith. Which one do you look at and say, I fancy my chance against him?
Yeah.
It's like you can't do that because it's a triple threat match.
And sometimes with triple threat, you'll see two guys teaming up. I can't see any of these guys teaming up.
Those guys hate each other. These 3 guys hate each other.
I don't think that's going to happen.
It's just, I mean, even though we saw, Aspen helped out Damien at Summerhill and they teamed at the Academy show. It was an uneasy thing, and they had words at the end.
It fell apart as quickly as it put together.
Yeah, it fell apart, and it was probably always going to. But I can understand why they were put together like that. It was big, but it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. It's like the 3 of them don't like each other, which makes the best main events. It's going to be phenomenal.
It is. Like this is what everyone in Wrestlezone works towards, is being going to Aberdeen Anarchy, having the Wrestlezone Undisputed Championship.
Yeah. And
these 3 guys have got a chance. Well, 2 guys have got a chance of winning it. Damien's got a chance of walking away with it again and keeping his run going.
Definitely.
It's like I said, it's another match that's going to have massive implications for Wrestlezone further down the line.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, and luckily for these guys, barring galas, there's not another show until Battle of the Nations. So because this is going to be a war, but they're going to have time to recuperate. Whoever
they're going to need time. They're going to need time to recuperate because it's going to be an absolute, like I say, it's an absolute war. And yeah, again, whoever comes out of there with the title, you would think that the other 2 guys will still be looking at an opportunity.
Yeah, of course they
to
will.
Get them, but everybody will be looking for an opportunity. So again, as much as I've said that Damien has a target on his back, whoever leaves Aberdeen Anarchy as champion, they've got an even bigger target on their back because everybody in that card who has won a singles match will be looking at looking at the undisputed champion and saying, right, I'm after you now.
Yeah.
So it all comes down to who's going to take that opportunity after.
But like we said, May 14th, Northern Hotel, you're going to have to get your ticket and find out just exactly what's going to happen with that.
Yep.
As we mentioned, we've run through them all. That's your 8 matches on the main card. Plus, we've got 2 VIP pre-show matches that have yet to be announced. Again, they'll be very, very highly contested matches.
There was a challenge. There was a challenge sort of thrown out at the Academy show that we won't talk about. If you were there, you'll have seen it.
Yeah.
I think perhaps that may be one of the VIP matches. We're yet to see. We've not spoken or heard from the 2 guys involved. No. So that'll be interesting going forward. So we'll see what happened there. If you were there, you'll probably have an inkling of what that might be. But until we find out, we can't say.
Yeah, but like we said, we're a week away. If as we record this, there's still tickets left. There might not be now, but if there is, Ringside World, your VIP tickets £20, general admission 15. Like we said, 8 matches plus you're going VIP. Go VIP.
Get a VIP tickets. Yeah. You get in early.
You get an extra 2 matches.
You get the early in. You get best option of the best seats in the house. You get the bonus matches. You get to buy your raffle tickets first.
Yep.
Shill. And yeah, so it's ringsideworld.co.uk. If you don't have them, you should also get them. It's going to be a brilliant night. It's the biggest night of wrestling in Aberdeen.
Yeah.
That's been for many years because we've obviously had COVID and lockdown. This is going to be we've been dying to get back to Aberdeen Anarchy. Been dying to do this.
I mean, and the run Wrestlezone's been on since we've been back. This will sell out.
Yeah. Definitely, absolutely will. So I would thoroughly, strongly advise you get tickets in advance.
Yeah, like we said, May 14th, Aberdeen Anarchy. Hopefully, we'll see everyone there.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to it. I'll be ringside. I get my best seat in the house as well. I get to see it all. You'll be through the back preparing.
Oh yes, I'll be
for young Ronan.
Flexing Mikkey and getting it warmed up.
Excuse me, suits you, sir.
But yeah, like May 14th, Northern Hotel, Aberdeen Anarchy, get yourself along. So for me, Mickey Vago and Martyn Clunes and these championships, we will see you at Aberdeen Anarchy.
See you ringside.